learning. They've brought in a lot more crews, if you've noticed. There's a lot more crews, things are going faster. They have figured out how to stop this wood from warping. If you go down the basement, they cut a piece of wood, within a couple hours, it was like an S. It was amazing. So they've figured out how to seal the back of it, and it's working.
Good.
I did get a call from a person in zone 82 saying that the gas company, she's an elderly lady, kind of destroyed her driveway. Our road grader guy saw her out raking asparagus, leaves off her asparagus. The road grader guy fixed her driveway and then went back on his lunch and raked her asparagus. And she was so touched at how sweet that was that she called and said, that's the sweetest thing. So I wanted to share that. And that's about it.
Good news stories are nice to hear.
Oh, and I had CCOG and all that stuff, but we're good.
Mike and I had a covered bridge preservation meeting on the 29th.
Yeah.
Lots to do, lots
Yeah.
of money, no money to do it.
Yeah.
That's it in a
Yeah.
nutshell. We really would love to, but it's time those bridges have some, more than TLC.
Yeah,
But
we'll get there.
it's expensive.
Imes is $1 million, didn't?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's, we can't use any, that's our money, that's not federal or state.
Yeah.
there is,
You
or
have to have
private
very
money.
They
special
don't meet the category.
opportunity. I heard a meeting on the 30th, nothing particularly noteworthy to discuss there. We all had that same assessors meeting that Heather mentioned. I think that's what I have for reports.
I have one more quick one. I did tour Wildwood.
Well,
I was
it's neat down there.
incredibly touched. I need to call Matt and say, you need to change a presentation. They are really breaking the cycle of abuse, poverty, and lack of education. They do wonderful things, and he told a story that he needs to share. They were sitting at a meeting, he said, with Harry Stein, richest guy in Iowa, and they said, could we be one of your charities? And he said, I deal only in genetics. There are good genetics and bad genetics. That's it. And one of the board members said, okay, so I take your bag of seed corn and I plant it in Iowa and I get 220 bushel to an acre. And then I take that same bag and I go over to Africa and plant it in the desert. And Mr. Stein said, point well taken, and wrote him a check for $1 million.
Wow.
And they've changed it so much since my sister worked there. It's incredibly,
And those little cabins they built, they're beautiful.
they're beautiful cabins, they have hot houses, they are keeping kids, they can come back, so they're going to college, they're learning skills.
They scheduled my tour this Friday.
They are partnered with Lutheran Church of Hope, so they've gotten, it's been really beneficial. Yeah, you'll have to go
That's
look,
neat.
it's really good.
You know, we-
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
And I will write a letter if it's okay. He said, Matt said he'd send me a template and I'll write it and we can sign it and send it
He'll
off.
send it someplace else.
Okay.
Just, we're not gonna give
Yeah,
them money, we're just gonna say
Right,
they're.
my DCAT board has a meeting out there once a year, because DCAT helps fund some of their projects, and they have kind of like a thank you meeting out there, so I get out, and it's October, it's beautiful time out
It's
there.
beautiful.
Old business, township vacancies, we talked about that a little bit.
I'll
I think
call
we kind of
Kate
threw
for
some
you.
names around to
Mhm.
contact there.
So if we just call, we have them fill it out and they can send it in and then we'll pick, right?
I don't even think they have to fill anything out, it's not like our other board appointments. I mean, typically it's elected position and we don't even elect.
You will then, you'll have an appointment notice, that we'll put on the agenda, you'll approve the appointment, and then they actually become.
So we get as
they have
many
to be
names
back
as we
for-
can. Okay, that's what we'll try.
Yeah.
We'd be happy with one.
I know, I don't know if I can weasel my way into
Well, I
that.
sent out a bunch of emails and texts
All right,
during
well,
our
good-
break.
good
so
luck with
hopefully
that.
we'll get something.
All right, new business. Budget director, board clerks, let's, there too, let's talk about them a little bit separately, and maybe they end up getting combined, maybe they don't. Unfortunately, auditor has been our budget director for as long as I've been around. In light of the current environment, where all it seems like any of us get is criticism, she's not required to do that and says, I'm not gonna do it. I actually have a college friend that does this in Dallas County, so I'm gonna call Rob up and ask him a little bit. His official direct position or title is Director of Finance and Operations. So he oversees not only all the finances, but he oversees all their facilities as well. So kind of a big job, but it's Dallas County, it's night and day different than us. But he constructs the budget, he manages all the department budgets throughout the year, so if Ryan's getting a little over budget, you know, Ryan, you're over budget, you need an amendment, those types of things, he would do all that. And he also manages all the facilities, which you can imagine the facilities that Dallas County has. I asked him, is he considered a county manager? He goes, no, we don't really have a county manager, but I'm maybe kind of a pseudo county manager, because he works closely with all the supervisors. He said their supervisors are there on their meetings days and serve on their various boards. Most of the daily issues fall on his plate. And the supervisors look for him for guidance on anything financial. He also has a full-time assistant. I asked if they've served as the board clerk, and he says the board of supervisors also has a full-time board secretary. Rob's been there 8 years. Next year he'll make $150,000 a year. I said that will make you the highest paid county employee in Madison County. I think I mentioned this earlier too. Their budgeting, they have so much commercial tax base and so much growth that their valuations has averaged 15% growth every year. Their budget increases 10% a year because they do so many different things, and their levies dropped every year.
Sure, because they have all the
Be
commercial.
a wonderful problem to have. But anyway, that was something that I found there. Not sure how that really relates to us. That would be wonderful to have somebody do all that, but that doesn't work for Madison County.
So we're gonna look at, I did some research for both jobs. We could look up close to maybe close to 200,000.
So,
Would you have to pay?
the only counties around us, none of the counties our same size have a budget director. They're all handled by the auditor's office. So Warren, Dallas, and Polk have one. I met with Polk last Monday, and just to kind of talk over what they do. So they, like you, they have an administrator, but theirs is actually separate. They're bigger, they're 30 times our size. So they actually have a county administrator, and HR reports to them, IT reports to them, budget director reports to them. But in conversations with her, she said, kind of like what they do in Dallas, budget director, county administrator, board clerk, is kind of, she said with a county our size, that would be probably a good combination. She said though, with them and Polk, board clerk is still under the auditor's office. So, and they do that for accountability purposes, because the auditor's office is kind of like the keeper of the paperwork. So because our meetings involve paperwork, they do all that. So they do the minutes, the resolutions, holding all the documents. So that's why in Polk County, it's actually still under the auditor.
You know, regardless of who it falls to, they're gonna have to work very closely with the auditor.
Right. So, she said that, cause I kinda wanted to understand exactly what they do that's different. They do the budget amendments, anything to do with the budget administrator does. They also said that, let's see, they make sure that each of the elected officials are not overspending. They aim for at least 25% reserve in cash flow reserves. Let's see. They initially had folks that came in to advise and reorg and kind of figure, now obviously that's not in our budget, but that was something they did. Let's see. So their county administrator position is over the budget positions, and under that department, they do the budgets, they manage the folks that roll up to the supervisors, they're in charge of enforcing policy. She recommends if you do have that position, someone has political savvy, because you're gonna be interacting with elected officials. Let's see, someone who can be forward-thinking enough and bring recommendations to the supervisors to take action on, because like you said, they're busy doing, going to boards and having meetings and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, and each of their departments has the same, all the departments, including elected officials, have the same software, so it's easier for their budget administrator to track budgets. I don't know enough about that here to know whether or not that's applicable. Let's see. She also said that, for them, which I thought was weird, and she said their Board of Health, the employees don't report to the Board of Health, they report to the county administrator. It's kind of like a dotted line to the Board of Health, because the Board of Health has kind of final say in the policy, but the actual employees report up to the supervisors, I mean, through the administrator, which I thought that was weird, but that's what they do there. So, I think there's a lot of similarities, like what you said, Phil, with Dallas on this. Obviously, we do not have the same budgets as those counties. Warren's 3 times our size, Dallas is 6 times our size, and Polk is 30 times our size. So, how we are, you know, can we have a combination? I'm not opposed to that at all. But I think what we need to do is figure out how to way to fund it, and, because we don't have that right now.
I think we need to figure out a way to help to repair it. We got this as part of that job, and now it has got so contentious and mean here that she's
So,
refusing.
help me understand, I'm hearing this, and what I'd like to understand is what exactly is the issue? I mean, we had public that came in and gave their opinions, and, which they was in their right to do. So help me understand, what is the issue? I mean, this is we're elected officials, she's an elected official, you're never gonna please everybody. So help me understand.
It's, the whole entire country has gotten this way, and it hasn't always been this way. It's, social media is a bad driver, is a driver on this. You know, there's no, what am I trying to say here? There's no, you can't disagree with someone and respectfully disagree. You have to just berate them, and eventually that wears on people. It wears on me to the point that it's pretty easy to throw up your hands and to get to a, I'm not gonna say don't care, because that's not true, but,
You get frustrated, I get it.
yes, you get very frustrated by it. And all you're trying to do here, I mean, this is a part-time job, you're trying to do what you think is best for the county, and when you get beat up day in, day out on it, it wears on you. And that's exactly what's happening to all of our county employees, because they get beat up all the damn time.
And then when we vote on something one of us doesn't like, then we go beat them up on Facebook. That is hurtful. And and then the public follows that. And then
So who's beating up who?
well, when you write the sheer hubris of her, of the assessor, then people come in and they take it out on her.
No
You
one
wrote that
no
on a
one wrote-
face, you
No, I
did.
wrote the sheer hubris of the Polk County assessor.
Well, it
Not
read,
our
it
assessor.
didn't read that way, and everybody took it as a kind of a personal
Well,
attack to her.
Diane, you know what, if people can't read what I say, and they take it a completely different way and interpret what I say is not what I say, I can't help that. I can't be
Yeah.
responsible.
You know,
I can
Well,
only-
but I
can
think
only-
it's falling,
I-
it's falling on this board, and this is what's happened. This
I
is gonna
can
cost taxpayers.
None of you were clarified.
I can only be responsible for what I say. I can't be responsible for what you understand. So, and
But
to
what's
tell the
tougher in
public that they don't
educating
have a
people
right.
than what you really meant to say, I guess I don't understand where there's a difference there, like, oh, we're just gonna allow people to be upset about half-truths and say all this, instead of coming back and clarifying, like, hey,
I didn't mean that.
I hear that you guys are understanding it this way, but this is what I meant. And
So
that's
here's
not-
the thing,
That's what's not happening here.
Anything I reported on was, it's all in public documents.
But when they
All in
come to,
public documents, and then the public
And
comes
they
here,
take a
gives
piece of it
commentary.
and just twist
Twist
it
it.
all around.
I cannot be responsible for what people understand.
You could straighten them out.
you could.
How can I straighten
Because
them
they're the
out?
ones, you're
We're raising-
the one
we're
ones
raising-
feeding them the information.
Okay,
They
so
give
we're
you
not
bits and
raising
pieces.
taxes?
That's
We
not
are,
true.
and we never
We're not
said we
raising,
were.
we're not raising,
And we reduced
salaries.
taxes by $1 million the year before,
I understand
which is
that.
probably too aggressive in hindsight.
I can't speak to that. All I can speak to is, are we raising taxes? Yes. Are we raising salaries? Yes. What is wrong about that? Are you
There's
saying
not.
we should hide that from people?
But we didn't hide it. We've never hidden it.
And I report exactly what we vote on. So what is the issue here?
The issue is, it has been done in such a way that now it's going to cost taxpayers, which you like to say over and over, lots and lots of
So you're
money.
saying that because Because
think
the
it's the
public
way-
spoke up, they're getting punished.
It's not
for
the
it.
public, Heather, when you call them non-essential and they bring it up and you said, you twisted it and said,
I
well,
never
you
s-
misinterpreted
Well, first
it.
of all, I never said anyone was non-essential.
There
What
you
I
go.
said is that our first responders are essential people. Now, if people took that as being non-essential, I can't help that.
Then everyone took it wrong, all of
Well,
us.
clearly, everyone who work for this county may have, I can't speak to that. All I can speak to is I represent the taxpayers.
So do we.
I don't
And at some point,
represent- I'm
some
not
point in time,
hired.
there's a matter of respect here.
There is, a matter
No
of
one's getting
respect.
it.
So how is it respectful to raise taxes on people that they come out here and they speak and they say, please don't do that? They take the time to do a petition and you guys ignore the petition.
The
Because-
petition is online, just like dead people
No,
that
you
vote. I am
ignored-
not taking
You
an online
ignored- You
petition.
ignored a petition.
I'm not gonna
that
take
was
an
brought
online
here-
petition.
This is not an online petition.
It was
It was
too.
validated by that she came up here and spoke.
And she also
said-
said, I took the children out and I did change the heading.
She brought a petition of opposition to us, which we are required by law under Iowa code to accept all opposition filings, all of them.
Online petitions?
It says any kind of written
It's not
or
written.
and it was written. She handed it to you and you refused it.
If people went online and typed it in, how do I know that I didn't go
That's
in
not
on
your,
SIP?
that's not your job to determine.
What?
We are relied under Iowa code to accept all opposition, whether we agree with it or not. And
Okay.
you guys refused to do that. You broke Iowa code.
Good
Okay.
advice.
So the point is that I can't help it if the people get hot. If you read my Facebook post, all I
No, I
have is
don't,
data.
'cause I
I
hear,
can't
all I
read it
get
either.
is the rants and raves that
Well,
you
I
get people
can't
fueled
speak,
up on.
I can't speak to what people put on rants and raves.
When you
All I
took,
put on
You
is the
provide the
data.
fuel for it.
you do, and when you took this, when you took their wages and you used that as far as raising taxes, that's
We
how
are
you
raising
spun that.
taxes.
We know we are, but you used the wages, they're getting the snot beat out of them, and this drove down from
And
you.
all they're doing is getting-
Excuse me,
and all
you
they're
don't
doing
want
is
me
getting
reporting
treated
this? Is that what
fairly.
you're saying?
We've never denied we're gonna raise it. We never have denied that, but the way these people are being treated, and it's coming from.
I cannot.
Yes, you're fueling
Okay, so
it.
you want me to hide it? Is that
Oh,
what you're saying?
stop spinning that. We're not
You're
hiding
spinning it.
anything. I'm
You're
not
spinning it.
spinning it. These
I
people are
reported
treated.
data. I reported data,
Well,
Diane.
and-
With
and
a
You guys are
spin.
saying that the public does not have a right to comment on
You
that.
spin data.
I spin nothing.
And then
This
the
is all
people that
public
listen
records.
to your stuff beat up all of our county employees.
They don't beat up all our county
They
employees.
called her, they told her, they
They
accused
told
her
her
of
that
splicing
she was hiding
tapes.
up her recording when you didn't vote on that one man.
I cannot, again, I cannot be responsible for what the public says.
But
You
we're-
guys are putting this all on me. These are members of the public. They have a right to say whatever the heck they want, whether it's accurate or not.
Where would they have heard that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Can I comment?
Sure.
I'll tell you why I'm here today, because of that thing in the shopper last week, which was ridiculous and signed by the citizens of Madison County, of which I and my husband
You didn't sign that?
are
You
two
didn't
of
sign
them.
it.
And it's like, what?
My mom didn't sign it.
I know, it's like, what is going on in Madison County? And so I'm here,
I don't know.
so I can hear firsthand what is going
I
on.
didn't do the ad.
I bet
I
you know
get-
who did.
I find out, yes, I did. I
Yeah,
found out
see,
who
you
did it.
found out, the rest of us couldn't.
Well, here's the thing, is that the public have a right to say whatever the heck they want.
They do, freedom of speech,
They
and
have-
now they're gonna pay for it.
They, oh, so you're gonna punish them for freedom of speech?
No, we gotta hire somebody.
No, we don't.
Because the.
She's
because
not
the-
gonna do our
You know,
budget.
you know why we
Public
don't have,
treats
you know why this
people
is
like
not gonna
crap.
cause the public, is because we have two positions that are currently in the auditor's office, okay? That responsibility is going from the auditor's office to our auditor's office. So the cost of that head count needs to be lowered there and raised over here. We do not have to raise taxes to fill these positions.
To hire a budget director, you're
have
gonna
to
be
pay for
hiring
that.
somebody that's gonna be paying close to 6 figures.
We can take that head count cost that will cost us to do that and move it from the auditor's office and move it to our office.
I would
We
prefer
do
we
not
start
have to raise
treating
taxes.
people decently and stop berating them, and
No one's berating anyone.
Bullshit.
You
All right,
People
do.
came
this
here
has
and
come,
spoke.
this has come to an end. We have 2 more meetings coming up to discuss other things on here. I declare us adjourned.
Here's paper, Sarah, that somebody handed me. Turning point. Share, involve, share. These are all you. Ma'am, what's your name?
Tisa Hildebrand, you are my supervisor.
Hildebrands, hi.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're doing a fabulous
You,
job.
you came to an exciting meeting.
I did, but
I'm gonna get that snot beat out.
The,
What I recommend is-
interesting,
Sick of it.
no, I know.
That
like your
front
portion,
page
that's
was
actually kind of
terrible.
It
interesting.
was horrible.
Yeah,
But you have to be a
My
numbers
husband
geek to just.
So,
He couldn't get it.
I will have to bring that again in about a
Yeah, 'cause
year.
they got hammered.
Maybe pick
Well-
maybe a shorter meeting where we
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
they
and
didn't
it always
fact
falls
check it
here in
either.
April
Right.
because it
No,
does
I know.
rely on the county budget
Like,
too.
when is gonna
So,
start coming?
because I have to have
Thanks
those
for coming.
numbers,
Thank you.
Should we
Just
have a
finish that.
special meeting maybe?
maybe, and again, I
We
felt
have
bad,
great employees, like
I
that
think
guy
we've done
who
that
breaks
as a session.
asparagus.
we have.
We
And-
never
and-
had issues.
You tell me how you want it, I know this has been a challenging year. And like I say, normally the overall budget is accomplished by then.
You're failing.
If I don't get it,
No, I'm good with you, we'll just hit
no
them
money.
all. Just start on one end and go
Okay,
through it.
well, maybe we do it as a work session
Yeah,
in the future.
yeah, and again, I apologize if it
I can't even
No,
write.
don't feel bad.
Oh,
took up time, it's not super exciting, but it has to be talked about.
But you know what, it helps educate us on what you're doing, and
Okay.
I think it's a good information for the public too.
Yeah, it's like,
So they understand how it feels, so